Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Do Bonsai. Today we're going to do a little bit of jade work. I've neglected the jades a little bit over the last few weeks and stuff, and especially over winter they've just been getting watered in the tents. But just before we hit winter last year, Graham Walker, a friend of ours from the Akamatsu Bonsai Club, kindly got me some variegated Portulacaria Afra that I was after forgetting to buy the variegated port that was at Birmingham boot sale last year. So he got me a tray of port, and they're lovely. And so today we're going to get them out of the pot that they're in, separate them and plant them on. Some maybe as ongoing bonsai, and some as the ideal kind of accent plant in some nice little pots and stuff. So let's see what we've got and we'll get them out. So here we are, we have a garden tray full of variegated Portulacaria Afra, and they need getting out of here because they're just not getting, you know, they've been in the tents under the fake light and they've not really enjoyed it, but they've stayed alive and they've done well. So yeah, let's get it out of this pot, get them separated, and see whether we've got something that we can try and turn into a bonsai. Yes, I know succulents are not really bonsai, but they can make lovely little bonsai looking trees, and if not, they will always make a lovely little accent. So let's see how we can get these out of the pot. Will they come straight out? I reckon if we get hold of, there we go. Oh, we're out. So there's a little plastic tree there that might come in for something going forward. But here we have the trees, and it's all very dry, so this should come apart nicely, and we'll see exactly what we've got in here. They have been waiting for this. I've kept them watered as well as I can in the grow tents, but with it being so warm in there, they've the water's just been evaporating, and you know, we've lost most of the water quicker than what we would have done in here. So we'll just start breaking the soil apart, and we'll see what we have. The bigger trees, we may be able to start turning them into some kind of bonsai, and then the smaller ones will make a nice accent. So we've got something there that's just come away, so we'll get rid of that. So we have one piece of port there. So this looks like it was one tree that's kind of separating a bit. So we've got a couple of straggly bits there, and then this seems to be a nice, it was probably a load of cuttings that were put together. Yeah, we've got another one there that's going to separate from this main tree here. This is going to make a nice looking ongoing one. That could make a nice ongoing tree. So we'll just keep them separated as we break them apart. I know Ryan's going to love this video. We all know he loves a jade. So they've got some lovely roots on them. That's another one just to put out of the way. Let's see what we've got in here. Break these away. more. So they were, like I say, they were probably offcuts, and they've rooted nicely. They've got a little bit of something about them, but we'll be able to plant these on into ongoing potential little bonsai trees or accent plantings. I think we're going to end up with a few more cuttings, but don't tell Ryan. I say cuttings, we'll be trimming these back, and that will create our cuttings. So it's got some lovely root throughout all of this. We've got some gonna have to treat these. They've got some of that woolly aphid, I think it is, going on. So we'll have to spray them down with soap and water at some stage. That's another little tree. You did me proud here, Graham. You probably won't be watching, but you did me proud with this lot. Hopefully I can grow these to the one that I missed out on at Doncaster boot sale. I did look for him this year, the guy that brought that the big Portulacaria Afra, the variegated one, and he wasn't there, unfortunately. I was hoping he was going to be, because I would have been going home with that. Should have bought it last year. You snooze, you lose. So I'll just break away the rest of the soil in here. Oh. We've got some good cuttings that were planted. We're going to do the same. Don't tell Ryan. He'll be looking in here to try and find them to bin them. He didn't find me ficus cuttings, they're still doing well. So you can see there that was taken off. They got some thick root down, but we'll get them planted on into nearly done, and then we'll be able to clean up and come back and have a look at what we've got. Some of these have got a really nice little root system. That one's got a fantastic set of roots coming off the bottom of that. That's done really, really well. So we'll have to get our Let's Do Bonsai bowl and maybe wash some of these roots off, ready for replanting. That's got the potential for an ongoing little tree. If you want to see things like this done really well, you need to go to Coffee and Bonsai with Tom. I'll put a link to Tom's Coffee and Bonsai with Tom's channel. He does some great stuff with jades and Portulacaria Afra. Really, really good. I really enjoy watching Tom's videos whenever he's brought another one out, and even watching the old ones again, because he really, really does a fantastic job. That's another one. I think this is the last one just to get the soil off. So our little forest of cuttings there have done us really well. I'll get this moved away. We'll get tidied up and see what we've got. So we've got our Let's Do Bonsai bowl with some captured rainwater. Let's come in with cutting rooted number 1. Rinse off the old soil. Give it a little bit of a clean. So we've got some nice root we'll just trim the bits that we already know are too long, and we'll set it to one side. That's cutting number 1. Number 2, let's get this nice and cleaned off. Wind's getting up out there again. I don't know whether you can hear it across the video, across the mic. That's assuming the audio's working. I suppose we ought to check that in a bit, haven't we? Don't want another video with no audio. We'll cut off the bits that are too long. That's cutting number 2. Number 3. Almost set up to be some sort of cascade type. Get off some of that woolly aphid, then when we can see it. And that's cutting number 3. Number 4. That's cutting number 4. Oh, we've got a nice big cutting number 5. This will put our little pots to the test that we've been saving and got around. This root comes down and then kicks straight out, so we'll just take that one off because that'll be no good for us, and then we'll just take the lower ones away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this will be a cutting. So I've replenished the water. We've got this one with lots of root on it. Give this one a good clean. Some nice big roots coming off of that. See if we can get rid of some of this soil. So there we go with number 6 and 1 cutting. Here we are now with number 7. There's number 7. Number 8. There's number 8. Here we go with number 9. Just trim these roots. There we go with number 9. Number 10. Doesn't take much of a clean. We're probably putting more soil on than taking off. And just trim them back. That's number 10. Number 11. That's number 11. Ooh, and the last one, number 12. I'm glad we didn't have 13. Not that I'm superstitious, but it would have been a good... Actually, 13 is my lucky number, so maybe I should have wanted 13. So there we are with partially cleaned up roots. We'll get cleaned up and come back and see what we can do. So I've scooped out a few pots, and then depending on the size of the trees, we've got some varying pots to be able to take these pots. Nice little Walsall pot there. These are not the smallest pots I've got, and they're probably just going to hopefully be the right kind of size. There's a nice erin pot there which would take a nice big one. Probably not the right kind of pot for what we want. There's a little square pot there that could take one. A DB pot there, probably too good for a jade, but I did say I was going to put a jade in this. And then a nice, I think, was that an erin pot? Can't remember, but it's a lovely pot. That it will take a lovely cutting of a, it will take a lovely jade, it will take a lovely planting. So I was thinking this one could take that side rooted one, and then as it grows it will fill the pot. So I think we might get that one first and just see whether it would suit being inside there. So that's our pot. Let's get our cutting. So this is our one that's already cascading over, and I think it could do well in there. We can certainly plant it in and just see how it goes. We're not going to be tying these in with them being the jades. We may just need a weight of a stone from somewhere. So we've put a screen in, put a bit of soil in there, and then we need our tree put in. We'll get something to stand it on. So that's just about right for where we need to be, and then we'll encourage the growth back here so it fills in as well as cascading away. More soil. Just work that into the roots. And we could do with something to take some of the weight. Got a little stone there at the top, but then it's still quite loose, so we need something up above. We'll drop a little bit more soil up the top, and then we just want to put a stone in there to wedge it, and then that will allow it to grow on. Let me just see if I can find some kind of stone for that. So I found a few stones, and I think if we try and wedge one in up the top, that will give us a top and a bottom, and that will just stop it falling and dropping away. I do intend just to quickly take the ends off of these, so that's just going to take some weight off, not much but a bit. And we'll give this a water. It's pulling all the stones, the soil down, as it drains through. I'm just going to prop it up while we give it a good watering. That's better. As you can see, we've still got the dusty soil, still haven't cleaned that up. So we've got the new growth, or the existing growth. Hopefully that'll carry on, but it will, you know, bud back and hopefully do well. We'll have it in here in the green wing, and hopefully we can get that to grow back and cascade at the same time. Totally the wrong pot really, but at least it's getting used. Let's see what we can do with another one. Right, we've got a nice big one here that we're going to put into a single pot on its own, round. With all that root, it's going to be something a little bit deeper like this one. Just take a few roots off, see where it lands. Come in with the soil. And we'll just work that in. These high roots will have to come off. That can be the beginning of our root plane, our flare. And we'll just work the soil into the roots. We'll just give that a water through. A little bit more soil. So this is small enough to be an accent, so you know, if you get the tree right, it could be a nice little accent. It needs quite a bit of work. It needs trimming back and letting grow. So we'll do that, and we'll create some additional cuttings. There's a branch on the inside there not doing anything. We'll take that one off altogether. There's a dead stump there that we'll just cut back, and then we'll just bring the whole thing back in. So this one's going up, we'll take it off. So that one that's coming off, that gives us a cut in. This one's coming up, we'll take it off to there. We may even look to take it off even further. That's going back on itself, so we'll take that away. I think this one we'll take back to here. We'll take the top off that, that's rubbish. There's a little bit of something there. This one we'll take back to here, and then this one we'll take back to here. So that's got the beginning of something. Some branches will come back a little bit further, some will stay, but we'll see how this develops going forward. So we'll put this one away, get tidied up, and come back with another one. So the next pot is going to be the DB pot. We might need to wire this one in. Let's find one with a shallow root system. I've just found the cascade thing, so we fitted the wrong one into that other pot. This one's cut down quite well already. I think if we match it on this side and basically Hail Mary the roots, we can get that in there and that will grow quite nicely. It should carry on quite well. And we won't need to tie it in. So a good scoop of soil, start the base layer. Another cutting. And this one is quite similar to one that I did quite a while back, which was this one. Similar sort of cutbacks, and look how it's grown. While we're here, we'll just trim this one back for its continued progression. That'll do nicely, and that one will do. We'll water these together. And that should continue to grow and do well. It's got plenty of room in that pot. I maybe could have put it in something like the little Walsall pot, but never mind. We'll get these put on the side. We've got a nice little pot there for a straggly one, and I think this one will go in there nicely. We'll just trim the branches right back, and then slightly Hail Mary the roots, and in we go. Put our drainage screen in, a scoop of soil, because that's probably all this is going to take. We'll get the base layer in, and when this grows in, that could make a nice accent plant. Okay, with all the Hail Mary cuts and chopping the roots off, I found a nice deep one, and I'm thinking we could put a 3 in here and make a bit of a forest. So I'll just reach over and grab a drainage screen, and we'll put that in the base. An initial layer of soil in there, and then let's have a look at some of the trees that we can put in here. So there's one there, a nice strong leader going up. We probably just need to cut that back, and that can be one side of the planting with a few minor root prunes. So we're going to take it down to here. And then we'll just trim the branches back. And I think that will do quite well in there. We'll just set that aside. We have another one here that's sided this way going out, so we'll just trim that back. And we're going to go right back on the inside, giving us some more cuttings. That's our third tree for this pot, and our third and final tree I think will be this one, which is sided this way, so it's got plenty to go at. Just take a few additional roots off, and then some of these long leggy extensions we will just take back, and then we will take the end off, and that gives us 1, 2 and 3. So we'll get some soil mixed in. And we'll get rid of this wasp in a second. Right, that's got them standing up. Wasp, you've got to go. Right, that's the wasp successfully evicted. I'll just tidy up my cuttings, and we'll come in with some additional soil. Just work the soil in for any air pockets that are down there. So we'll come in with a good watering. and we'll put these on the shelf and hopefully they'll continue and do well. So we're charging through these, and I got one of my PK pots that came from Scotland. It's a bit deep, but it's ideal for this bigger cutting, the one there. That'll go into the pot really nice. We can leave all those roots in and leave all the top of this, maybe just take some tops off around here, the bits that aren't looking too great, and let it grow, let it grow. So we'll just get a screen in the bottom and get a good amount of our soil in there. I think that's just about right for where we want to be, height wise. Perfect. Let's get the rest of the soil in. And we can really let this one go, really let it take off and hopefully do really well. And this will be the one that's going to be my missed Birmingham boot sale tree. So we'll just work this into the roots as best we can. And just shake it up and down a little bit. Let it fill those air pockets, pushing the roots down at the same time. Get the top layer in. Now there's a few bits at the top here not looking great, so we'll pick off the bits that aren't too good. Just take some end bits off that don't look too good, but we'll leave everything on that seems okay. I did see more than that. There's that's just what's picking off the inside. There's a little stub just to take off there. Some worn out leaves. We'll take the top off of that one. That's doing well, that's doing well. That's going to do okay. We may, you know, trim back and grow, but at the moment, this one I'm just going to let it go and see what it can do. And I'll get this out into the lovely sunshine when summer comes, and it should explode in all sorts of growth. So let's get it watered. All that cloudy, dusty rubbish coming out at the bottom again. Need to find some time to sift the next bag, definitely, if not the rest of this one. So that one, we've done some minor trimming off the edges, but the rest of it we're just going to let it grow and do what it can do. So we've now got 4 left. We can see what pots we've got that will work for these. So that one could have had that cascade effect. So we'll have a look, see what pot we've got that might work for that. And all the others are pretty much upright, which will suit, you know, these types of pots, our little round straight up pots. So I did buy this pot with a view to having it for a jade. This is one that was bought from Scotland as well. So let's get a screen in it. We will just need to trim this pre-made screen down to size. That sits in the bottom of the pot. And I shall choose one of these to go into it, and it's this one. So we need to take some root off, and that will fit in there. Lovely. So we'll just lift it up, get the bottom layer in. That's the bottom layer in. That's our amount of soil, and obviously it's a little pot, so we'll just trim it back. Oh, somebody needs to put 50p in the meter. And I'll just put that to one side while we do another one, because it's taking too much water to keep emptying it and wasting it. So we'll just put that to one side before we rinse it through, and let's have a look at the pots that we've got left and what trees we have left. So we have these two plus the off-sided root one. I think this one would go into that one nicely, and then we'll probably be able to break that one into that one or that one. I'm thinking the darker one suits it better, so we'll just put that out of the way. We'll be a bit more aggressive with the roots. We'll take that high one off, some of those high ones off, get rid of that one, and we just need to be a little bit more aggressive. So that's going to take itself into there, and then we'll just I'm going to take that back to there. So that'll be our planting there. Drainage screen. A scoop of soil. A little bit on the base. And fill the rest in. We've made our cuttings again, but I'm sure it'll recover and do well. So we'll just put that one to one side. We're flying through them. Sorry if it's a little bit too quick, or maybe it's a little bit too slow for some of you, I don't know. So that's going to go in there. Okay, we'll just take the bottom roots off, a few of the outward facing roots, and that's going to sit in lovely. Put the initial layer in and come in with the rest of our soil. and then we just need to trim these long extensions back. And now we'll water all three of these at the same time. And what we'll probably do is get these on a black tray with some sand in it, and obviously keep that sand moist and allow the roots to strike down into it. But we'll keep them watered correctly and let them thrive. So the last one we have is the one that would be ideal as a cascade or semi-cascade. Let me get tidied up and see if we've got anything that would suit it. I mean, we do have this wall salt pot that we could put it in, but it's not really a cascade pot. It'd work as a, if it was a little tree, I suppose, but it's not really ideal, and I'd like to keep that in as an anchor. So what to do with our final little cutting? It's looking a bit sorry for itself, and it would have suited some kind of cascade, but I've got nothing to put it in. So no cascade pot, but I do have a tall plastic planting pot that Kay gets things in from time to time, and I'm just sort of thinking if we position it right, we can obviously use that and keep all the root that's in there. So I'm literally just going to hold it in and load it with soil. I probably shouldn't be stretching so much for this soil. I'm wiggling around with the other hand. So good old plastic plant pot becomes our cascade pot. I will just put a couple of stones in the top of that after we've watered it. Let's water it through. So let's come in with the water. And we'll just put a couple of stones around it just in case anything should happen. That's the one more likely to fall out of the pot. We don't need to take any edges out. We don't need to trim any of the branches. It will do quite nicely. And these may well turn up over time. We'll see how it goes. We'll certainly come back and review all these, especially in the summer when they've been outside. So we have all these cuttings, which I'm just going to rinse off in our Let's Do Bonsai bowl. And I was kind of wondering what I can start our cuttings off in. And I was having a look around and lots of opportunities for what we can use, and I thought, why am I even looking? Let's just use what it came in. So there we are. That's what they came in. I do have a bag. Cactus and succulent compost. So we'll get this filled up with the cactus and succulent compost. It's quite big. Let's not have any "that's what she said" comments going on. Yeah, that's quite chunky to be putting cuttings into. So I've got no other soil, so we'll just go with our bonsai soil at the top. So that's our tray for the cuttings, and we're just going to put them in. Nothing fancy, nothing special. If they take, they take. If they don't, they don't. Because I'm already in trouble by doing it. Don't worry, Ryan, I can hear you on the other side of the screen. And no, I'm not putting them in the bin. You're lucky I'm not putting the bits up that I've cut off, except that one. Oh, I was tempted to grab more then. Make sure we've got any of these woolly aphids away. This will be like when we took our trees out, we got some main ones in the middle. Let's do the same again. Main ones in the middle, we did have some big ones. No carnage, Cam. The carnage is getting potted up, I'm afraid. Just take the top off that. And these will do well in the summer. I'll try and sneak them into Kay's greenhouse and then hide them when Ryan comes down. So we're almost back to what we started with when we done dug them out. I'll save some for you, Ryan. How about that? Is that the deal? Don't come down and throw them away, and I'll save you some. I think I'm going to let the rest go. I've got just about enough in here. There's one here that's a nice hardwood one, so I'll just drop that in. And another one. Ignore what I just said. Alright, I lied, we're still going. Right, that's going to do it. Let's get these put to one side. We'll give this a good watering through. So let's water it through nicely. So as the roots strike through and hit that succulent compost, that should feed them and encourage them to grow, and it should have a really nice root system for each of these cuttings, because they normally do always have a success rate, a high success rate. There's not normally a foul. The water's running through, that's good. Might just have to stand that up on something to allow it to drain through. We'll come out again. So that's all cricking and crackling away in there. That's not a bad forest. The battery's on 9%. Oh my god, we're at it again. Right, we're still recording, low battery. So that's going to do it. That's how to pot. Right, let's start that again. So that's how to plant on and create potential Portulacaria Afra, bonsai and accent plants, and then use the cuttings to start all over again. Usually it's a win-win with these jades and succulents, you just can't lose. That tray that we got from Graham Walker was only £10, and as you see down there, we're off again. So that £10 has been really well invested. So that's going to do it for today. Get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, be kind to each other, animals and the planet, and as always, I'll see you again in the next one.